Humans value themselves in part on what they can offer to society, but in the developed world we appear to have created a society where education and the upbringing of people is catered purely to the academic and potential financial income one can earn in the future, and not to the creative or even the strengths and weaknesses of individual human beings. We live in an age where there has never been more exams and qualifications and tests and more tests and studying, but emotional intelligence, thinking for oneself, enjoying oneself and creativity are being crushed under the weight of memory tests and essay writing. And yet, we have the financial crisis of the credit crunch. And not long after that, in 2012, JP Morgan lost a few $1 billion more on derivatives trading. And even in today's industrialised world, there are around 2.7 billion people living on $2 or less a day. Society caters to exams and academic marking systems and the drive for success over everything else, but not to human beings, our weaknesses and our temptations. We live in a world that in many ways does not cater to human beings. If you're born in a bad neighbourhood, or you have some really bad experiences that affect your upbringing and your marks at school? What happens if you're a backstabbing egomaniac but you get straight A's in all your exams, so an investment bank snaps you up when you leave uni, so then you can go on to stab us all in the back? What does a CV or a resume actually tell you about a person? Does it tell you anything? Does it tell you the person's moral fibre, their background, the chances that they've had given to them in life, their creativity, the ability to think for themselves, and the willingness to learn from their mistakes and admit to their weaknesses? There is a unique story behind every individual, and a sheet or several sheets of paper won't tell the full story, or sometimes even get close to doing an individual justice. To make matters even worse, morality and creative pursuits are often frowned upon, and purely academic pursuits are held in high reverence, and yet we crave to be inspired and watch movies religiously and read books to give us light into our souls. Every pursuit and every career should be given preference, and no one area should be seen as greater than the other. For academics and scientists are fantastic and are needed. But as Einstein once said, everyone is a genius. But if you try to teach a fish to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life thinking it's stupid. Basic human emotions are forgotten about in education and exams, and human flaws are seemingly promoted. For decency does not matter when all that is held in importance is making money, and where arrogant, self-interested people, as long as they have great academic marks, are welcomed with open arms into institutions that only care about making money. The point is that we are human beings. We are not pieces of paper. Materialism and money doesn't make us happy. And yet, and in part by accident, we have created a culture that brings out the worst parts of human beings. We need to cultivate education systems and societies that cater towards human beings, that cater towards emotional intelligence. But let's finish on a more positive note. In the recent Libor Scandal, where interest rates were being fixed that cost local authorities and people paying mortgages and loans total sums reaching into the trillions, do you know who reported this? Who uncovered it to the authorities where they could no longer ignore this issue? It was someone working in the banking system. It was a banker.